Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm gonna be talking about everything that I've crocheted in 2024 / crochet as a beginner crocheter. I personally love watching these videos of everyone's wrap-ups and I decided to do it for myself as well. For context, I started crocheting in September 2023, so I wanted to add like those 4 months of 2023 into this video because I didn't really make that much within those 4 months because I was still very much a beginner. I hadn't learned to like knit or sew or anything like fiber related. I decided to add it into this video just as a way of tracking everything that I've made ever since I started crocheting. I'm gonna reference my iPad, which is why I'm gonna be like looking down a lot because I took photos of everything that I've made since I started, like since September last year. So I'm gonna like slowly go through the list. So this is gonna be a long video, so sit back, relax. Also, a lot of the projects that I've made, I've gifted or given away to like friends and family because the whole reason why I started crocheting was to make like certain gifts, specifically flowers, which you will see a lot of in this video. But yeah, most of the stuff that I've given away, I've taken photos of. So I'll just like insert a photo here if I don't have it with me right now. I'm currently studying like university in Australia, so most of the year I spend in Australia. So a lot of my crochet items are also in Australia right now. I'm only going back in February and I want to film this before the year ended. I will also add photos for those because such a journey, like it's such a crazy thing to look back on when I've been crocheting for a little bit over a year now. So yeah, let's get started with the first ever thing that I crocheted, which is this bouquet. The whole reason why I started crocheting, like I mentioned, was to make flowers for my friends and family because I really loved like how crochet flowers looked, and I like that it's like forever flowers in a sense. Like a lot of people call it forever flowers. I bought like super cheap yarn off of like AliExpress, and then I bought like cheap hooks as well. As you can tell, it's very scuffed. I don't know, I had to like hot glue, I had to like make like the stems and everything. I think learning flowers like for your very first time crocheting something is quite crazy, but then I realized like a couple months after I started that it was quite helpful for me because the stitches in flowers are very repetitive, so you can learn a lot of like basic stitches while you're making flowers. I crocheted 2 more roses and these are a little bit more complicated as compared to the first one. I'll try to find the patterns for all of the stuff that I've crocheted if I can, but some of these are very old and I don't really remember like what video I watched, and literally like a lot of these are just like free patterns on YouTube. You can just search up like crochet rose or something. And then after that I made this like little tulip. It's so cute. And then I also made this for my boyfriend a couple of days later. I was just legit like learning all of the flowers because I wanted to learn like as many types of flowers as possible to make like a huge bouquet. And then after that my friends and I went to Sydney. This beanie, it's a cat beanie, and this yarn is from Kmart. It's just a colorful yarn from Kmart and it's so bright blue. And then I also made these like tassels, these like flower tassels. A very generic cat beanie. Okay, it's quite cute, but it's a lot more brighter in person because the camera it looks like light blue at most, but it's a lot more like neon in person, which is why I don't really wear it. The next thing that I crocheted is this shrug. Okay, I know the picture doesn't really show it, but I didn't really have a lot of like good pictures of the shrug because I ended up frogging it like a couple days later. I remember being really proud of this because it's like, it's cute, you know, she's cute. I flared out the sleeves and then I was like using different yarn, as you can see from the white strip. Like I was trying to mix and match the yarns, trying to be a little bit creative, you know. My boyfriend and I went to Kangaroo Point to like sit by the river and we had a little picnic and I worked on this by the river, which was really nice. It has a nice memory like attached to it, but unfortunately I frogged this piece, so I no longer have it like this. I reused the yarn obviously, and actually you'll see it later in another piece that I made. End of October, I also made a beanie. I actually gave this to my brother for his birthday. I made it in Australia and then I mailed it to Singapore for his birthday. I'm pretty sure he has it, but I don't know where he kept it, and I don't know if he even wears it, but I just thought it would be a cute gift. It's my first ever like round beanie that I made, and honestly I haven't made any since then. The next thing that I made was in the middle of November, and I actually had a little like suitcase rummage I think towards the end of November, so I made a bunch of bouquets for that suitcase rummage. I made this bouquet of tulips, and then in this picture, this was the actual suitcase rummage itself. I made a bunch of roses, a bunch of lavenders, and I just like mixed and matched the flowers around to make like different bouquets. It was pretty fun. It was very awkward for me because I'm not a social person at all, but it was pretty fun. My boyfriend came to sit there with me, and also one of our other friends came to sit alongside, so it was three of us like just sitting there and talking, and a lot of my friends visited and brought us drinks, so it was really nice. It was a really nice experience, but it was really awkward, but it was really nice. Okay, I'm gonna take this off. The next thing that I made is this sling bag, and this is the Mason bag. I forgot the name of the pattern creator, but I'll link it in the description. I bought the pattern for this bag, and I made this on the way to like a little staycation that I had planned for my boyfriend's birthday. So I made this towards the end of November, I think. The drive was like 3 hours there and then 3 hours back, so I worked on this bag all throughout the drive. I remember making like front and back panel during the drive there, and then the cover and the connecting thing on the drive back or something like that. Unfortunately, I still haven't sewed in the ends, and it's been like more than a year, but I've only used this bag like once or twice because I'm so afraid of it stretching. I haven't lined it because I actually only learned how to line my crochet like bags and pouches a couple days ago, which you will see later in the video. But yeah, this bag is my first ever crochet bag. After that, I came home to Singapore. I made this bouquet for my mom. I made this for her birthday, and this was the whole reason why I wanted to learn how to crochet, because I wanted to make my mom a birthday bouquet of crocheted flowers. So this is the bouquet that I ended up making for her. Her favorite flower is the lily, which is why it was kind of like the centerpiece of this like bouquet. And then I also made this bouquet for my boyfriend's mom for Christmas. So I was legit up until 2-3 a.m. like most of the days during those 2 weeks, because my mom's birthday is 22nd December, and then I had to give the other bouquet to my boyfriend's mom for Christmas. So I was really like trying to finish both bouquets like around the same time. After Christmas, I left to go on a trip with my friends to Taiwan, and during that trip I made this beanie. I pretty sure I left it in Brisbane, so I don't have it with me now because I checked like all of my cupboards and I can't find it. So this is the picture that I have. It's just a striped beanie. That is everything that I made in 2023. And then in 2024, which this video is mainly going to be about, the first thing that I made in 2024 is this bonnet. I don't know why I decided to make this. I think I saw a picture online or something, and I was like, ooh, I want to make a bonnet. It's very loose at the bottom. I forgot, I think I got like the stitch count wrong, so it looks a bit weird, but it's still pretty cute, you know. I really want to make another bonnet for myself. Oh, I haven't even sewn in the end for this, but I really want to try to make another bonnet that like fits better. It's the first thing that I made in 2024. The next thing that I made is this dahlia top, and unfortunately I can't show it to you because I frogged it. It was my first like actual top excluding the shrug, so it was quite like a big piece for me. But then a couple months later, I was looking at it and I realized like I don't really even wear this top at all. I think I've only worn it once, so I decided to frog it to make something that I feel like I would wear more often. But yeah, I just wanted to document it because this took me like 1 to 2 weeks, and I actually really love like the top. Like it's just not something that I would wear, but I love the lemon peel stitches. Like yeah, I love the lemon peel stitch so much. It was so satisfying to finish that entire panel. Next thing that I made was in February, which is this flower sweater, and this flower sweater is still in Brisbane because I wear it really often in Brisbane, and I didn't bring it back because it's a bit thick and it's not really like, if you wear it in Singapore you'll definitely sweat, and it's really thick and really hot. I followed, I'm pretty sure it's Nikita Nightingale's YouTube or pattern. I forgot if it's a YouTube video or like a written pattern. The next thing I made in February were these daisy squares. So I made one, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And originally I was gonna make a blanket by joining all of these together. I saw someone on TikTok make a huge blanket with these squares, so I kind of wanted to do that with a bunch of like the acrylic yarn I had, because I want to clear my acrylic yarn. I bought so many acrylic yarns for like flowers, but then at this point I kind of stopped making flowers, and I was like moving on to different types of fibers, like exploring different fibers, and I had so much acrylic yarn that I wanted to clear it. So I made like all of these squares, but then I got lazy and I did not make any more other than this 6 squares, and I don't think the blanket dream is gonna come true. So I'm thinking of just like using these as wall hangings, or maybe like a scarf or something. I don't really know what to do with these yet, but I've kept it just in case like I have an idea or something. And then in March I made this sweater. I used my Central knitting machine that was gifted to me by my friends for my birthday. They surprised me with it in Australia, and I finally used it for the first time in March. But this took me so long, and I used like clearly the wrong weight of yarn, which is why it's so holey. And I made the sleeves so long, it was like up to here, like it was the whole sleeve like until here, and it was just really drapey and really long and big. I definitely used the wrong weight of yarn to make this, which is why I ended up frogging the sweater in the end. But I did reuse the yarn for something else, which you'll see in a little bit. The next thing that I made is this cat beanie, but I tried to like mix and match some different fibers, and I also made like tails inspired by New Jeans. I think one of the members of New Jeans had a beanie with like tails, so I kind of wanted to replicate that. And then in May I made my first 6-day style blanket. I've only made one, but I can foresee myself making a lot more in the future. But I made my first. This is she. It looks like this, and I used this yarn that I bought from Carousel. It's variegated yarn, so the whole blanket was made with this like yarn. Because I bought it on Carousel, it was kind of like limited stock. This person was trying to clear her existing yarn, and I don't know what yarn it is. Like I tried to ask her if she remembers what the brand is and the color is, but she doesn't remember. So I had to use like a different kind of yarn for the border to kind of like extend it a little bit. And I actually bought another ball of yarn that is like similar to this color so that I can extend it a bit more, because this is still like, it's a bit small for my liking. I wanted it to be bigger. So I think I'm gonna work on this blanket before I go back and try to extend the rows a little bit more. But this is what she looks like right now. I really wish I knew what yarn this is, because it's damn pretty. Like the way the colors like change and where the colors change in the blanket is so nice. It's like velvet. I will never ever see this yarn again. Originally, before I made this, I really didn't know what to make with this yarn, but I'm so glad that I decided to make a blanket with it because it's just so nice. The next thing that I made in May is this Gemma cardigan. This is still like the best thing that I've made so far, and I wear this so often. Like I wear it like almost every day. It's like my everyday cardigan, and I just love it so much. I have a vlog of me making this on my channel, so if you want to go and watch, I think it's a few videos down, you can go and see how I made this cardigan. I started this in February, I think like before Chinese New Year, and I only finished it in May because I didn't work on it at all. Like in March and April, I worked on it like here and there, but I didn't really touch it. And then I finished sewing. I finished like the sleeve, everything within like the month. And then I finished it in May, and I love her so much. She's like my prized possession. Will I make another one in the future? I don't know, if I have plenty of time or if I have someone that I really love and cherish and wanna go through the hard labor of making this. If I have someone like that, then I might make it again, but I don't know, not right now. The next thing that I made is this Miffy bouquet that I made for my friend. I think at that point she already had a gender reveal and she was expecting a baby girl, so I thought it would be so cute to make like a little pink Miffy bouquet. And the Miffy pattern is by Bond & Buds on Instagram. After that, I also made another Miffy bouquet for my other friend who was getting married like later in the year. For this one, I tried making a new flower, which is this like glass rose that you see like on the bottom right. It was a journey, but it was really fun making it. And now that I'm looking at all the bouquets that I've made, I actually really want to make flowers again, because making flowers is so fun. It's like so mindless. You don't really have to think, and you can still create like such a beautiful bouquet. The next thing that I made is this cardigan for my grandma. Again, it's for my grandma and I already gave it to her, so I don't have it with me right now, but it is the Eternal Cardigan pattern by Jewel Mix. This took like a week max to make. I think less than a week for me to make. It was so quick, and it was kind of like I think it was back and front panel joined, and then you just have to make the sleeves, but you like work in the rounds, so it's already like joined. Minimal sewing. It was so quick to work up, and I really want to make one for myself. I love this pattern so much. I'm definitely gonna make one for myself soon. The next thing that I made is this sweater, and this is using the yarn that I used for the shrug that I showed like in the beginning of the video. I've been thinking about this for a couple of days actually. Like, I wasn't sure if I wanted to include this in this video because I'm thinking of frogging this again. I don't know, I just don't like the way it looks as a sweater, because it's a little bit cropped as well, but I don't want to buy another skein because this yarn is so expensive. I bought it on sale, but it's really expensive if it's not on sale. I'm thinking of frogging this and just making a really long scarf, because it's cute. It's a cute color and it's so soft. It's like furry. It's the Karen Latte Cakes yarn, so it's like so soft, and I think it'll be really nice as a scarf. So I might frog this and make a scarf out of it, but I thought I would just include it here because I mean I did make it in June. So, and then for the month of August I made nothing because I was so stressed with like school and I was just really busy with doing other things, so I made nothing in August. And then in September I made these 3 dolls, and I made it for a class assignment where we had to make like a little game for children. There was like a component of the grading system that needed you to be creative, and this pattern is also by Bond & Buds. In October I made these shorts, and this is by Crochet by AG on YouTube. I think she has a free tutorial on her YouTube channel, so you can go and check it out. I ended up using a really thin weight. I'm pretty sure this is like weight 2 or something, and so it took me forever to finish because like, can you even see how tiny the stitches are? The stitches are so small and each like row is so short, so it took me so long to make this. But by the time I realized, I was like 10 rows in and I was just too lazy to frog it all, because if I had frogged it I would not have like remade it at all. I would just like not make it. So you guys need to know that I'm a full-time student. Throughout the year my semester is February to June, like mid-June, and then August to mid-November. This year my exams ended pretty early on the 4th of November, so I had pretty much the entire November and December to crochet, and I flew back to Singapore like first week of November. After I flew back I fell sick for like 2 weeks, so I was literally at home for 2 weeks, and that gave me so much time to crochet, which is why November is like, I made the most things in November basically. So the first few things that I made were these cat hats. I made these cat hats for my friend. She wanted like silly cat hats for her 3 cats, so I made a reindeer, a little sprout with like a wire inside, which is really cute, and then a Shrek hat. And while I was making this, the first one that I made was a little bit too big, as you can see. So I kept this for my own dog, but I haven't weaved in the ends yet. The next thing that I made is this squeaky toy. It's just a cat pattern that I found on Pinterest. I added like a squeaky insert inside of it, and I made this for my boyfriend because I was making him like a little advent calendar thing. I actually have a vlog that should be out by now of me making some of these things. Like, I think the cat hats, this toy, and a few others that I'm gonna mention are in that vlog. So if you want to see me make it, go watch that video. And then after that, I made this bag. Originally I was gonna use the squares for this bag for my boyfriend's sweater, but I didn't have enough of this yarn. It was like a mill-end yarn from Spotlight, and I didn't know what the yarn name was. This is the bag. It's just like a sling. I don't know if you can see, like, okay, I'm just gonna stand up, but this is what the bag looks like. The next thing that I made is this gnome squeaky for my dog. Unfortunately, she's already trashed it. The nose has fallen off, so I don't really want to show it right now. It has like a squeaky insert in it, and this pattern was also from Pinterest. Anyways, the next thing that I made is this bubble pouch, and this pattern is by Nets Records on YouTube and Instagram. She has a free YouTube tutorial of this pouch, so I followed her YouTube video and I just use it to store my crochet hooks for now. Better you can like just close it like this, like it acts as a clasp. So also, I'm sorry for the lighting changes. I'm trying to get through this as quick as possible because the sun is setting. Yeah, I'll try to speed through it so that the lighting doesn't change too drastically. I made this apple coaster for myself. I saw this like TikTok of someone doing it and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to make one. And then I found this pattern that I used on Pinterest because I couldn't find the pattern that that person used, but I found one for myself on Pinterest. There are so many apple coaster patterns on Pinterest, so if you want to make one for yourself, you can just search on Pinterest. Last thing that I made in November, which I made throughout the last 2 weeks, is this sweater. I made this sweater for my boyfriend's birthday, and I actually have a vlog of me making this sweater as well, so if you want to watch me finish this sweater in 2 weeks, you can. That is the last thing that I made in November, and then I took a break for the first week of December because I was so burnt out from making that sweater. I mean, it was a really fun like journey making that. Like, I had so much fun making the squares and seeing it all come together, but it really like made me super tired, so I took a small break from crocheting, and then I started crocheting again when I went on a trip with my boyfriend's family. That trip I made this camera pouch. It wasn't originally gonna be a camera pouch. I just made like a random pouch because this popcorn stitch pouch, same one, the pattern by Nets Records, is so quick and mindless and easy. It's like you don't really have to think when you're making it, and it works up pretty quickly as well. And I made it like this size randomly, but then when I tried to fit my camera in, it was just like a perfect fit, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna use it as a camera pouch. So yeah, this is my camera pouch. The next thing that I made is this like little table mat, and this was my first ever time trying out filet crochet. It's very simple kind of filet crochet. I've always wanted to try out this like method of crocheting, and I finally got around to doing it. I love it so much. Ever since I made this, I have been obsessed so much that I made another one right after that. I made this house one, and this one's a little bit smaller, but you can use it for like drinks, you can use it as a coaster, stuff like that. Like, or you can just like hang it up on your wall like this. And I actually made this for a friend's birthday, but yeah, I made this one first. It's a little cat, and this was inspired by Mew on YouTube. I found the graph for this on Pinterest, so I followed the Pinterest one. I don't know if it's exactly the same, but it was heavily inspired by the one that she made. I can't find the last one, but I made 3 of these. I made 3 of these apple coasters for my friend's birthday as well. I can't find the last one, which is a little bit concerning. I'll go and look for it later, but I'll insert a picture here of all 3, and I'm gonna like tie a ribbon around it, so it comes in like a stack together with this. I think it's so cute. I made this tissue pouch. As you can tell, I was really on a roll in November and December, but it was mainly a lot of like time things that took me just like a couple hours to make. But yeah, I made this tissue holder for my other friend's birthday. I saw this like picture on Instagram of this person's tutorial. I forgot her name, but I'll link the video in the description. She made like a video tutorial of how to make this, and again it's the popcorn stitch, which works up so quickly because it's like chunky yarn. So yeah, you just have to make like one long panel and then fold it and sew this part, and then just leave an opening for you to like take the tissue. Next thing that I made is this little blue pouch, and it's the same skein as this. I originally made this with the thought of giving it to someone else, but then I finished this 2 days ago, I think, and basically I sewed the lining and then I used yarn to like sew it onto the pouch itself. And this was truly a test. Like, it was truly a process. It took me like 2 hours to get the lining alone done. Afterwards, I sewed on the button, and then I made this little flower, and in my head I thought that this would look nice. I don't know if it looks nice now. When I've perfected sewing on linings, I will then think about giving it to others. But right now, because it's a little bit scuffed, like if you look at it like this, it looks a bit scuffed, so I think I'm just gonna keep it for myself. The next thing I'm gonna show is the last thing that I'm gonna show in this video, and while I feel like I'll definitely make more things during this last week of December, it's 20th today, so I have like 10 days until the end of December. I really wanted to film this video and edit it before the new year, so I wanted to give myself like time to edit, which is why I'm filming it today and like cutting off what I made today. Maybe I'll show what I've made in the last 10 days in my next wrap up video, like next year. I'm also making a vlog of me trying to clear my stash yarn before the end of the year, and that will probably go up in Jan, so maybe I'll show what I've crocheted during these last 10 days in that video, so I'll link it down below once it's up. But if you're curious to know what I'm gonna crochet in the next 10 days, you can subscribe to be notified like when I upload that vlog, or you can follow me on Instagram. It's @firejoyce. I post like everything that I crochet on that Instagram. You will be first to know when I finish something because I'll post it on Instagram right away. I update there more often than I do YouTube. So yeah. Anyways, the last item is this vest, which I just finished today. It's just a regular vest. Let me put it on. It's just a regular vest that looks like this, and this is the yarn that I used for the central sweater that I showed earlier in the video as well. So I frogged that sweater like I said, and then I used both skeins to make this vest. But yeah, it's just an open vest, and I got this inspo from this person called Crochet by Tosia. She posted a picture of her free-handed vest, and I saw it and I was like, I want one. Like, I want to make one for myself. But because it was free-handed, she didn't have a pattern, and she didn't like list a pattern or anything, so I basically like screenshotted that post, and then I was just referencing like how it looked. But it was pretty basic. It's just like 3 panels with like decreases to make like the neckline. But yes, that is the last and final thing that I made in this video slash 2024 slash my crochet journey so far, which is crazy. It's crazy to me that everything that I've crocheted is now on this video, and I can't wait to look back on this video in 5 years and look at all of the things that I made when I first started crocheting. It's gonna be crazy. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video and seeing everything that I've made so far as a beginner crocheter. I don't know to what extent you would consider a beginner, because technically I've been crocheting for like over a year now. I don't know, I would consider myself a beginner because I feel like there's just so many techniques that I still have not learned. But I don't know, I feel like some of these projects are also pretty intermediate, but I mean, granted, they did take me like freaking long to do. I guess I would say I'm still a beginner, but looking back on everything that I've made, I think I've grown so much from that very first bouquet and those very first flowers that I've made. I've really learned so many more new techniques, and I've really just improved in my craft, which I am so happy to see, like my growth and my progress. So that's all. Thanks for watching. Bye.